In this video, we'll go through some basic character design concepts and learn how to draw a useful character turnaround. Let's get to it.
TipTut.
Hello everybody and welcome back to TipTut and welcome back to the How to Create an Animation series. Last episode, we learned how to create a script and storyboard for our animations. So if you haven't watched that one yet, you can do so here. If you have watched it, awesome. Today, we're going to talk about character design and turnarounds. Your audience empathizes with your animation through your characters, so their design should reinforce the message you want to send. This is a whole subject in itself, so I do suggest further research, but I'll use Timmy, the character from last episode, as an example. First things first, think about your character traits, from simple stuff like, are they young or old, fat or thin, boy, girl, trans, human or animal, etc. Then dive down into less obvious things. What's their personality? Are they kind or cruel, sullen or overjoyed, stoic or passionate? Using this list of character traits, we'll design our character using basic shape theory. Here's a video on that theory. It does use logo and graphic design as the example, but the concepts are exactly the same. Timmy is young, male, bubbly, excitable, innocent, impressionable, friendly, and approachable. Certain shapes evoke certain emotions within our audience. If I make Timmy have an angular face and body, small beady eyes, a large hooked nose, and a hunched posture, well, he doesn't look innocent or approachable, and certainly not friendly. This is because sharp, angular shapes are aggressive and cruel, perfect for a villainous character, but not so much for someone who's meant to be approachable. Remember, as we learned in the 12 Principles series I made, which you can watch here, animation is all about exaggeration, so we need to take our character traits and exaggerate them to better convey our meaning. If sharp shapes are aggressive, then round, curved shapes are friendly and approachable. Large eyes, all the better for the audience to connect with emotionally, make Timmy look approachable. And a round, compressed body makes him look like a ball ready to bounce, perfect for his bubbly personality. Little details like wild hair and a big belly button add personality to the character, giving them defining details that the audience will remember. Timmy is looking much better, but let's look at him from another angle with a turnaround. A turnaround is a looping animation of your character. They rotate in place and offer viewpoints of your character from every angle. Front, 3/4, side, back, and 3/4 back are usually the minimum, with some tweens to make it smooth. The important thing here is you should understand what your character looks like from any angle, so when you come to animate them later, you have your turnaround as a reference, which helps minimize mistakes and wasted time. Start with the basic shapes. Don't try to do all the detail at once. And remember that unless your style specifically calls for it, you're drawing a 3D character in a 2D space. Things like the belly button should rotate around a sphere, not a circle. So add some guidelines to help with this. Let's look at Timmy as an example, and then I'll show you the whole process for the dino. Start with the circle for the head and body, and basic shapes for the limbs. When Timmy faces the front, he's wider than he is deep, so the body shape will change when he turns to the side. Then revert back when he's facing the back. Do the front, side, back, and other side. Depending on your character, you might be able to copy and flip these guide shapes for the other side, but definitely don't do that for your finished art. You'll regret it later. These 4 basic angles form the basis for the rest of the phases. And your 3/4 left and right, and your 3/4 back left and right are pretty much straight in-betweens, so shouldn't pose too much trouble. Make sure these are smooth, and then it's just a case of adding your details. Some important details for Timmy are the belly button, as mentioned before. It should be slightly bigger in the front view as it's closer to the lens. The hair should transition from one side to the other. And don't forget that the eyebrows on the character protrude off of the head, and they're not flat on it. Once you've got all that roughed out, it's just a case of tidying up the lines and adding enough in-betweens to make it smooth, just like so. Now let's look at a time-lapse of the dino, and I'll explain my full thought process as I go. Okay, so the dino is very simple. He just consists of basically 2 circles and some sticks coming off of him for the legs. So what I made sure to do is start with the 4 poses that we started with Timmy, the front, side, and back views, and then used these as a basis to create the in-between 3/4 views. The most complicated thing here were his legs. making sure that as they moved and rotated around, that they didn't cross over weirdly or anything like that. So, the front left leg would then pass to become what looked like the front right leg, even though it wasn't technically. So getting that took a little bit of difficulty, but apart from that, very simple turnaround. And I do this on purpose. I try to keep my characters as simple as possible. Literally, the dino is 2 circles with some bits coming off of it. So getting this basic step right was really important first before I went to move on to do all the in-betweens as you see me doing now, because that just allowed me to create really simple in-betweens based around 2 circular paths, the rotation of the head around the body and the rotation of the body in place. Then when it came to tidy up the lines, there was a little bit more difficulty here because I had to really pick carefully where I did my crossing over and intersecting lines, for example, the belly and the front of the legs and things like that. You can see me erasing and redoing these lines over and over again as I tried to figure out the best place to put them to make sure that it looked like his legs were in the right position, essentially, and to make sure that the fold of his belly looked like it was in front of, the back legs or things like that. So lots of faffing, unfortunately, in this stage, but the 2 circle base for this character was really important in order to just keep the volume and other bits consistent. And then went through and coloured the back legs in a slightly darker shade of green and the body in a light shade of green to see this finished product. Okay, so there you have it. Some simple tips for character design and turnarounds, but I'll reiterate again that this is just the tip of the iceberg. There's tons of great resources out there, so do go do some of your own research. And in the future, perhaps I'll expand on this topic more if there's enough interest. So let me know in the comments below. Make sure you're subscribed and you run the notification bell so you don't miss the next episode where we take our storyboard and character designs and turn them into a complete animatic. See you next time on TipTut. Massive thanks to my level 2 and above members, but especially to those who have been a member now for over a year. Win62, Melem Hoover, Ian Costello, Yushin, Maybe Sharma, Relic Superior, and Ralika M. All above 12 months membership. So lovely, such lovely people. Thank you. Become a member, click the join button below for exclusive perks and benefits.
Remember to subscribe for more tips, tricks, and tutorials. Thanks for watching.